to Allison in Bethesda, Maryland. Now, hi, you're on the air.
Hi, good morning. Mr. Secretary, I'm the mother of a preschooler with Down syndrome, also a proud Buffalo native, and embarrassed at Washington's response to the rain today. But I wanted to thank you, for your early acknowledgement that Section 14 is a detriment, to people with disabilities. Your work at the Department of Labor Civil Rights Division enforcing state and agency compliance with the 1999 Supreme Court, the Elsie versus Olmstead, really went such a long way towards ensuring Americans with disabilities were served in the most integrated setting. And yet we still have 420,000 people in America who are segregated in rehabilitation programs, sheltered workshops, many of whom making, as you know, less than the federal minimum wage. And so as we talk about wage equity and start and have this national conversation about poverty and inequity, we have to include people with disabilities because they have been, for the past 13 years, the poorest minority group in America, and they have the highest rates of unemployment. So, I'm sure you know this. We're talking about an estimated 4.2 million people with intellectual and developmental disabilities who are really, here's my question, consigned to poverty by government policy. So what we want to know, will the executive order include these people? We talk about janitors, cleaning federal buildings and cooking meals. Those are often these same people making less than minimum wage.
Right.
So
Thanks
take
for your call.
Allison, thank you for your call, and I agree with you. I don't understand why schools are closed when it's simply raining out, but that's the Buffalo in me speaking. And, Allison, the president strongly believes that there's no such thing as a spare American, and that's why one of his first declarations when he became president was his declaration of the Year of Community Living. And I was at the Civil Rights Division at the time, and I'm very proud of the work that we have done in states across this country to ensure that people with disabilities, including your child, have the opportunity to realize their highest and best dreams. We have all too frequently focused on the dis in the word disability and not enough focus on the ability. And that's what we're going to do. And the question that you asked about the executive order, we're actively looking at what our legal authorities are and what our abilities are. And I commend you to the case that we did in Rhode Island involving sheltered workshops, which was a groundbreaking case where people with disabilities were really being warehoused in jobs in which they were paid subminimum wage and really being destined to the scrap heap. That's not America. We don't kick people to the curb, and we give them opportunity. And that's why that case in Rhode Island that we did was a seminal case, and that was a joint venture between the Department of Labor and the Department of Justice. And I'm very proud of that work, and we're going to continue to do that.